What's up, Jews for Jesus friends and family? I'm Jeff Morgan. I'm here with Alex today. We are in downtown Tel Aviv, Israel. And today we're going to be talking about the situation in Ukraine and what our Jews for Jesus team and missionaries have been doing in that region since the beginning of the war in February 2022. How long has it been already?
Over 4 months.
Over 4 months. So, Alex, can you talk about what has been going on over there, what you've been doing especially, and what is it like there now after 4 months of war?
Okay, so first, thank you for asking. It was a very unusual period for me, for everyone. You know, we're all involved in this, and you see the situation in Ukraine. And first, we start with prayer for Ukrainian people because they suffered. They suffered a lot. Over 7 million people, Ukrainian people, left their homes. About 4 million left out of Ukraine, and the other half remain in Ukraine, but they cannot return to their homes since their homes destroyed. There is attacks there, missiles, and they cannot just go home. And in some cases, the houses doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
People lost their jobs, lost their homes. Families were separated because the women with the kids can leave the country, and the men, as you understand, at the age of 18 to 60, they are not allowed to leave the country because they should join the military service or to do some other things. So people suffered a lot. And when it started, I felt I useless. I cannot do nothing. I can just pray. And this is something that I really learned during the first week of the war, that the power of prayer.
Right.
So we start pray, and then at some point, I've been asked to go to Poland. Why Poland? Because they have the major border with Ukraine, and I just came there. I arrived to Poland with no any idea. Aaron Abramson, the COO of Jews for Jesus, asked me, Alex, how we can serve there?
Yeah.
What we can do? And my answer was, I don't know, but I believe God will provide it. And as I'm driving from Poznań, which is the city on the north of Poland, almost at Germany, I'm going down to the border with Ukraine. It's about 6 hours driving. All these 6 hours, I receive phone calls from friends, from pastors, from missionaries, from secular people who know me from Ukraine, and they somehow learned that we start mission there, even before we started.
Wow.
It was God's miracle, because all these 6 hours, I receive all these phone calls, and I say, okay, let me come to the border, and I will see how it's look like. So the first thing I saw there was the huge camp with thousands of refugees, people crying, people standing tired, ladies, kids, with lot of bags in their hands, and the lot of volunteers and government of Poland who helped them. People from Poland who came to help them. They just say, hey, who want to go to Warsaw? And the family joined them. They don't know one another. They just go and with them. They trust these people, and it was something amazing. So then I got some photos, got some phone calls to Dan and Aaron, our COOs, and explain about the situation. And they say, okay, so what's next? What's our next step? I say, we should find a home, find a base where we can put these people, because these people stand in the line to cross the border over 20 hours. They're tired, they're exhausted.
Yeah, last I heard there was over 2 million refugees into Poland alone.
Yes, I think now it's
probably,
even 3 million,
yeah.
even the numbers still increasing.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who came to Poland and the countries around it.
Yeah, so I have 3 children. You have two children. I can't imagine everything that we have right now completely being lost. And then on top of that, having to leave the place that you live and grew up. You can lose hope in that kind of a situation.
Absolutely.
Because you never know when you're going to be able to go back, and even if you're going to ever be able to go back.
Yes.
How did you and your team give hope to these people? And how did you provide them with resources?
First, you should give them the safe place. They should feel safe, that they can stay in some home as much as they need. It can be a few days, it can be a few weeks, but this is the place where they know no one will throw them out. They can stay there. They know who we are. They knew we are believers. We opened our doors. We rented a home with, I believe, 6 rooms, and it was full in a moment. The first thing you can do is to give them this place, and then to start to speak to them. Let them speak to you. You should listen.
Yeah.
You should give them the time to express their sorrow, express what happened to them.
Yeah.
And in some moments, I listen to ladies crying and sitting next to me and saying, "What we'll do next?" I say, "Okay, first make some rest." And then day after, you see the person change their mind. They know something. They know what to do next. They got an ideas. They ask, "So what do you suggest? Or how we can go to Germany or Finland or other countries or Canada?" And you say, "Okay, give me a moment and I'll go online." One of the big difficulties for Ukrainian people that the majority of these people never went out of Ukraine. They
In
never
their life.
in their lives, or even if they done so, they done it with their husbands, and they trust their husbands. Their husbands know everything.
Right.
And now these ladies who don't know English, who don't know what's next and how to move to the next point, they really dependent. They really dependent. And now you try to help them to put their trust, to be dependent, but not on people, but on God.
Okay. So you have people in your place that you've rented. You're helping families get food and shelter, and the comfort of knowing that someone is there to take care of them.
Absolutely.
What comes next? Because ultimately, we care about their soul and what happens to their soul. How do you share the gospel with and the hope that's found in Messiah Yeshua during these times of trauma and tragedy?
During this period, it was something that God opened for me especially. I was about to finish my studies of counseling, and we got studies on the crisis management. And as we learn about it, what you should do, you should invite people to put their trust in God, to know that who is God. It's not someone far away from you.
Right.
We are talking about Yeshua, Jesus, who suffered, who came here, who suffered everything as you suffered, and even more. He died on the cross, and he understands everything that happens to you. He don't want to let you suffer, but he understands it. He understands every moment, every person, and now he is able to help you. Now he is able to come and hold your hand and help you to move forward. And if you put your trust in Yeshua, if you put trust in God, then you can know you know that you are standing on solid rock, and doesn't matter what happens next. He is with you.
Yeah.
He's standing next to you.
Right. Right. Amen.
Even now, as our missionaries in Ukraine still serving to over 400 families, feeding them. They provide them food packages, and we got a chance to help with these people who really, used to work all their lives, and now they need this food, they need this help, and the support we got from our sponsors, our friends, our collaborators in Messiah.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for all this help, and it's really something that can change people's day, people's life.
Yes, people's life here on this earth and for eternity. And another thing that's wonderful is that there are tens of thousands of Jewish immigrants now coming into Israel.
Yes.
We're seeing more prophecy fulfilled in our time.
Absolutely.
Where people were settled in their lands and are now coming and have a reason to come back home to the Jewish homeland. And we are here to receive them. So if you'd like to be a part of this mission, please do so by clicking on the link in this video, down in the post and down in the description. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And thank you once again, Alex.
Thanks, God. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Shalom.